Hi everybody, this is my contribution to the storyboard sprint. My goal is to teach you guys how to do a storyboard panel in less than 15 minutes. This is really important to me personally because I've been teaching in UTS animation for quite a while, and I've taught in second year, first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. And one thing I've noticed is that across all the years, for all the time that the UTS animation program has existed, students have real trouble getting a storyboard panel drawn. Often I'll be working with, say, a third year or honors group, and I'll say, oh guys, this storyboard needs a few extra shots. Can you just throw 5 extra shots in there and show me what it looks like with these extra shots? Sometimes it takes weeks and weeks and weeks for the students to get around to doing the shots. That's not good practice for a storyboard. Really, a storyboard is a living document. You should be able to receive notes and respond to those notes really quickly and iterate and make new versions of your storyboard as it goes. This kind of iterative process allows you to quickly improve the quality of your visual language. So, the first thing you need to know is that you really need to have a piece of cinematic vocabulary that you're working with. So the best thing to do is to think about scenes you've seen in other films that have similar shots and similar sequences of shots, and examine the way those filmmakers have used it. And then you need to iterate like I have here with these thumbnail drafts. The movie that I'm imagining is like a monster movie with like a Godzilla or something. So I've drawn some Godzilla here, but I'm actually thinking about a giant baby movie. I'm imagining my son Bede, the terror, running through town, and I'm empathizing with the parents of that baby and what it would feel like to see your child destroying a city. Here's what I imagine is happening. The giant baby's been out squashing cars and destroying buildings, and then he's just walked past this alleyway and looked down, and there he sees his mum and dad staring up at him in dismay. There's a little exchange between them, and this shot captures that little exchange. Okay, as you can see, I've got multiple thumbnail drafts. Each one of these takes less than a minute, especially these little ones. And I've got one that took about 10 minutes. That was a sort of a practice run for this shot. I don't like the composition of this. I like this composition the most. And another thing that I've done that's really useful for you guys is I have included what's called a little mud map or a blocking map. So you've got our baby here, we've got the truck in the middle ground, and we've got mum and dad in the foreground. And I would imagine the camera would be right here. Camera. So these blocking maps are really good for, especially if you're working in 3D or you're working in live action film. It's good tool for communicating with the team. To start with, we're going to measure out a 16 by 9 centimeter rectangle, and that is going to be the aspect ratio for our shot. Every time you do a storyboard panel, you have to use the correct aspect ratio that's been set by the film project that you're working on. Super important. I recommend you do what I'm doing here. You measure a 16 centimeter by 9 centimeter rectangle, measure it carefully, and only measure it once. Draw the borders with a nice thick black line, mark it as a template, and remember not to throw it out. You can use this for every single panel that you're working on. Okay? Now what I'm going to do, I've got a second piece of paper. I'm going to trace that rectangle onto this second piece of paper. Straight from my template. It's pretty simple. Might have to hold it up to the light. Remember, it's a storyboard, it's a working, living document, it's not finished art. You don't have to be ultra precise, especially when you're working from something that you've measured carefully, which is precise. Now, some people do storyboard panels in their sketchbook. That's okay, but I recommend that you do your storyboard panel on separate pieces of card. And you'll see once you start iterating your storyboard, it gives you quite a lot of freedom to change the sequencing of your shots. So I've got my template and I've got a pencil drawing. So now my goal is to draw my shot in less than 15 minutes. Okay, I've started by blocking out the basic shapes with just a simple orange colored pencil, and that's what it looks like. That took me 2 minutes. Now I'm gonna get a darker pencil and start building up the layers. I start with soft pencils. I start with light colors, and then I go to dark colors. I start with soft pointed pencils, and then I go to and then I start sharpening them up as I get closer to the end. Okay, I've just done a second layer of my storyboard in over another 2.5-3 minutes, and here's what it looks like. I've really solved quite a lot of the compositional problems with the panel, and now it's time to start to go in with quite a bit of confidence and put in some nuanced lines there. So now I'm feeling confident. I'm going to get out a black colored pencil, so not a graphite pencil, but a black colored pencil, and I'll start with it not too sharp. I'm going to go sharper at the end, but I'll start blocking out the key lines with this. At this point, I've done some blocking out. You're starting to see the composition come into play, and I need to do the character work. Really important to be a bit precise when you're doing the facial expressions, the hands, the feet, the key sort of lines that create the body language. So what I'm going to do is sharpen it up. So I've got a fine point on my colored pencil. If you want, you can go to maybe time to change it up to brush pen or a quill or like a fine line marker, anything you like. There's no right or wrong tools for this. The only thing that's wrong is if the drawing is holding you up from developing cinematic language. Okay, I've pretty much got a storyboard panel that I think's working for the purposes of this kind of early pre-production zone. But I tell you what I need. I need visual hierarchy. I need my characters to jump forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my orange pencil, and I'm going to use the color white to highlight my characters. And obviously I'm just drawing on white paper, so what I'm going to do is draw around my characters to try and bring them up. So I'm going to use this orange to do an orange sky. Is the sky ever orange? Probably not, but maybe if there's actually a big city emergency, maybe there's fires burning all over the city from this crazy baby. So I'm just going to draw an orange sky, and that'll make my baby pop out. Because really a big part of storyboarding is about telling your team what you think the audience needs to be looking at. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is do a border. Okay, here's the panel. Here's the best I could do in the 15 minutes that I had. Is it perfect? No. Does it communicate this precise moment in the film? Yes. Does it communicate how good I am at drawing? No. Does it help me get this story out on paper so I can start sharing this story with others and work to make it better? Yes. That's the goal of storyboarding at this stage in production, and that's why we do our very best to produce our storyboard panels as quickly as possible. That's it. Have at it.